Okay, so that's recording. And so you have a quorum. You can start. I don't know whether who's going to show up at this point, but you have a quorum of 3.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll get started then on time. So the first motion of business is going to be we had a couple technicalities at the last meeting. I just want to go over this again. We're going to do a call to order right now. It's going to be the first motion of business. Charles?
Yes, I'm present.
Present. Cynthia?
Cynthia's coming in right now. Ask her again.
Okay. Okay. Cynthia, are you there? Cynthia. All right, I'll move on. Is Ann here? Ann?
I'm here.
I am.
All right. Hi, Ann. Greg? Greg here? No,
Greg's
Greg?
not here yet.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Cynthia, are you in the meeting? Yeah. No,
Yes,
Cynthia.
I'm here.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for that. All right, Cynthia's here and Frank's here. Okay. All right. Next item of business is going to be the administrative items that's on the agenda. The minutes. I like to make a motion to table the minutes, please. I got them out a little bit late.
I second that motion.
Carl, do you second that? Okay. All right. Thank you for
Which
that.
minutes?
Appreciate it.
Which minutes are you talking about?
It's the minutes for the last meeting, for the 17th.
Oh, okay. That one I wasn't there. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. Okay. All right. Thanks for the second, Charles. All right. So we'll table that. We'll address that at our next trusteeship meeting, and we'll be good to go from there. The next item of business.
If it's a motion, shouldn't you vote on it to just say that you're going to execute that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Roll call vote.
Let's get a roll call vote on that, please. Can I get a motion to table the minutes until the next trusteeship meeting, please? Do I have a motion for that on the table?
I think we did that, but I put that motion on the table.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just do it anyways. Charles put it on the table. We're going to table it.
We need a second.
Roll call vote. Cynthia, do you agree?
Yes.
Cynthia's a yes. Ann?
Yes.
Ann's a yes. Charles?
Yes.
Yes. And I'm a yes. Okay. So we'll discuss that at the next meeting. All right. So the next item of business we have for the agenda is the application reviews. Okay. We have a vote regarding applicants to be interviewed. All right. At our last meeting, it was indicated that there were 3 open seats for the Board of Trustees and 7 applications were received. I just want to make it perfectly clear that the board received 7 applicants. Currently, the bylaws allow between 8 and 18 members on the board. The reason I indicated that was because in the prior meeting, it was my understanding that we had nominated 3 board members each time a term was up. So I want to make that crystal clear for everybody, so there's no questions. However, no current board members are set to have their terms expire this year. Therefore, there is no requirement that any of the applicants recommended, nor is there a limitation of 3 considerations. Okay. At the last meeting, Cynthia, you weren't here. The trusteeship committee made nominations for recommendations to the full board. However, a proper procedure would be a motion for the trusteeship committee to interview applicants prior to board recommendation. Therefore, I'm calling for a motion regarding candidate interviews. All right. Again, I want to make that perfectly clear. At the last meeting, Mr. Chung Liu was the first candidate voted to be recommended to the board. All right. This was discussed at the last meeting. And as such, do I hear a motion for the trusteeship committee to interview Mr. Chung Liu as an applicant? Okay. Can I get a first on that?
I make,
Do
I
I
make,
have a first?
I make a motion that we interview Chung Liu as an applicant.
Okay. Thank you for that, Charles. Do I have a second on that? Second for Mr. Chung Liu. I second Mr. Chung Liu.
I was gonna say, Frank, I did read the resumes and cover letters, but I wasn't at the trustee meeting. But I think,
Mm-hmm.
so can I vote to say we should interview him? I would,
Sure.
I
Yeah.
would think
Yep.
so, right? Okay,
Sure. Absolutely. You can make that motion. You are, Charles, we have a so Charles was the first and you're going to second it. So I'm just jotting that down. All right. Very well.
Mhm.
All right. That sounds good. All right. Do I have a discussion on that at all? Is there any discussion whatsoever from anybody? Okay. So, at the last meeting, we also made a motion for the trusteeship committee to interview.
We need to have a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. So let's go and vote on this. Can I get a roll call vote? Cynthia?
No, you're not voting a roll call. All right, fair enough.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Roll call vote, Cynthia?
You're muted.
Okay. Charles?
Yes.
Yes.
Charles is yes. Ann?
yes,
Yes. Frank's a yes. And Cynthia?
Yes.
Cynthia's a yes. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. I'm going to move on to the next matter. It's going to be, so at the last meeting, we also made a motion for the trusteeship committee to interview Hsinpei Normand. I'd like to know if I have a first for that. Do I have a first motion on the table?
Yes, I make that motion.
Okay, thank you for that, Charles. Charles is, do I have a second on that?
I'll second that.
Okay, Ann seconds it. Thank you for that. Now we need to have a roll call vote on that.
No discussion first.
Or I apologize. I do apologize. A discussion on it. Would anybody like to discuss the matter? Any discussion at all? Okay. All right. So since there's no discussion, now we'll have the roll call vote. All right. Charles?
Yes.
Ann?
Yes,
Cynthia?
Yes. And I have a question for clarification. We
Sure.
don't interview before we make nominations?
So we have a screening process. What we'll do is we'll look at all the applications
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll analyze everything, and then the committee will narrow it down to a few candidates, and then we'll send it to the interview process.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
Yep. All right. So Cynthia, are you a yay or a nay on that?
Yes.
You're a yes. Okay. I'm just jotting that down. And Frank's a yes. All right. So the motion passes unanimously. All right. Just jotting that down as well. All right. And so moving on to the next. At the last trusteeship committee meeting, we also discussed Miss Elizabeth Larivee. Do I have a motion for the trusteeship committee to interview applicant Elizabeth Betty Larivee? Do I have a first?
I make a motion that the trustee committee to interview the applicant Elizabeth Larivee.
Thank you for that, Charles. Appreciate it.
I second
Do I have
it.
a second?
Yep, I second it.
Thank you. All right, just jotting that down here. All right, very good. Thank you. Thank you for that. Discussion. We have any discussion on that? Okay. Since there's no discussion on it, next is going to be a roll call vote. Charles?
Yes.
Yes, Charles. Cynthia?
Yes.
Yes.
And Frank's a yes as well. Okay. All right. So now what I'd like to do is get a roll call vote for everybody to, I like for somebody to make a motion to proceed with candidate interviews based on, yep, go ahead.
Are we missing something at this?
Go ahead.
Are there any other nominations? I think there's something like that we needed to. I think that was something we needed to do. I don't know. You're leading this.
For nominations?
Yeah. For any further nominations.
That's what I'm saying. I'd like to make a nomination to proceed with the candidate interviews.
That's not what I intended.
Yeah, this is Russ Duper. I agree that you should have a discussion about, are there any other applicants that you want to proceed with for interview?
Are there any other applicants that the trusteeship would, or is there anybody else that we'd like to consider before we move forward with proceeding with the candidate interviews?
I make a motion that we close the process for nominations.
Okay.
I second it. It's Ann. I second.
Okay. Got a second from Ann. Okay. All right. Let's get a roll call vote on that, please.
Oh, discussion. Discussion.
Oh, discussion first. Is there any discussion on that? Any discussion whatsoever? Okay. All right. Next, we'll move to the roll call vote. Cynthia?
Yes.
Is a yes. Ann?
Yes.
And Frank's a yes as well. All right. All right. If that's okay with everybody, what I like to do is next make a motion. Do we need to roll call vote on this to move forward with the candidate interviews? Well, let's do it anyways. Let's just do it. I like a motion on the table to move forward with candidate interviews.
I second that motion. Sorry, I make that motion.
So Charles makes the motion to move forward with these candidate interviews. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second it.
And thank you for that. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Discussion on that? Any discussion? Any discussion? Okay. All right. Next, we're going to move on to the candidate interviews. Is Mr. Chung Liu in attendance at this time? Mr. Chung Liu? Okay, we'll move on to Hsinpei Normand. Hsinpei, are you here? Hsinpei? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
I told all these people to wait until they're contacted if they wanted to sign in. Maybe give me a minute and just see if I can get a hold of Chung Liu.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Betty's
Sounds
here,
good.
though. We could go with Betty.
Maybe Betty's here. Betty, are you here? Betty?
Yes, Frank, I'm here.
Hi, Betty. How are you? Long time no hear.
Hi.
It's good to hear your voice. Glad you're here, and let's move forward with. Can I make a motion to have Betty placed as the first candidate interview, please? Can I get a motion for that?
I make that motion.
Okay. Thank you for that, Charles. Do I have a second
Seconded.
on that?
I second it.
Thank you, Cynthia. Appreciate it. All right. Discussion. Any discussion on having Betty as our first candidate? Okay. All right. Then the trusteeship committee is going to proceed with questions for the candidate. All right. So the first question that I have for you, Betty, is can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what prompted you to submit an application to rejoin the board?
I have been on the board for 2 terms, 6 years, and then stayed on the board as a volunteer to do scribing for the meetings when there was a turnover with the secretaries. When Gina was finally appointed and approved, I left the board, so I've been gone now almost a year and miss it. So I've decided to reapply and join the board again for another few years and hope that I get selected by the board as a candidate for a position. I served on the trusteeship committee and the personnel committee.
Anybody want to clean up, pick up, or clean up?
And as I said, was board secretary and then board volunteer scribe. So I've been very involved in a lot of the things that have gone on for the past almost 8 years, as far as expansion requests, lawsuits, initiating contracts for both Richard and Kathy, and the changes that have happened in the school as the enrollment has grown and programs have started, and all of the things that go with operating the school.
Thank you for that, Betty. We appreciate it. And I just want to open it up for the rest of the committee. Do you have any other questions for Betty on?
I think
the
at this
first
point
question?
we should ask because certainly I think it'd probably be more economical to have our questions after she's answered all the questions we're going to give her. Don't you think?
Okay, fair enough. Yep. Just make sure you're jotting it down. All right. So Betty, next question I have for you. In your opinion, what are the strengths of PVCIS, and how might you describe or talk about PVCIS to someone who's not familiar with the school?
I think this is the same question that I answered 8 years ago. And at that point, I said, I felt the biggest strength was the regionalization of the school. It's not tied into one community and one set of students, but instead serves a greater part of the Pioneer Valley, and as such has a wide range school and give us their information and influences. And that's part of what's making this school so great, in my opinion. As I talk about it to other families or friends, it's the regional concept. It's the Chinese immersion program, which has been very successful. And just the time and effort that goes into the promotion of students and families and the success that they all have as part of the PVCICS community.
Thank you for that, Betty. Appreciate the answer. And the school is definitely unique. I believe it's the only immersion school of its kind throughout the country. Thank you for that answer. So, Betty, what do you see as the future of the school, and how do you think you can assist in realizing it? You know, what do you think is the future?
Well, I'm happy to say expansion, second building, starting that part of the program. I know Kathy has ideas about starting some kind of a preschool program, so I'm very interested in that, having all of that kind of background myself in my education.
Yep.
I'm just interested in getting back into the meetings and all of the things that happened and will be happening with the new building online.
Okay. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right. So let me ask you this one. Nonprofit boards and or committees.
I've done a lot of community work as far as being a volunteer on various agencies, committees, City of Holyoke groups. So I've worked with a lot of nonprofits in that way. Obviously, my 8 years with this school has given me a lot of experience and exposure. So it's a lot of things that I've done in the past.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. So here's another one for you. If appropriate, can you comment on your experiences working within in educational setting, for example? Can you tell us what you bring to the table?
I started working as a teacher in the 70s and graduated with a master's, went on to get other educational degrees and did PhD work except for the dissertation. I have a degree as a teacher, as an administrator, as a principal, as a special ed director. And during my career with Holyoke Public Schools, I served in all of those capacities. So I have almost 38 years of educational experience as my career. And then I taught for a couple of years at Westfield State and went on then to the board. And as I said, spent 8 years at the school.
Excellent school. Thank you for that. All right. What kind of activities would you say you would engage in on behalf of the board, Betty?
Being an active board member, supporting the school in their activities and community endeavors. Depending on committee work, there's a variety of things that can be done on any of the committees that exist. So I'd be working in those capacities. And I know the state is always, for some reason or other, auditing, visiting, compliance checks, whatever. So there'd be all of those kinds of things to also work on and help out with promoting the school.
All right. Thank you for that answer. Appreciate it. As you might be aware, serving on the board and its committees can be very time consuming. The board, as you know, meets once a month and the committees meet as needed to complete our work. Does this fit within your personal and professional capacity?
No problem with that. I'm very aware of commitments and the expectations for the three committees that normally work. So yes, I have no problem being part of committees and doing the work that's necessary.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Do you have any questions for us, for the trusteeship committee, Betty?
I do. What are you thinking of as far as timelines for this position? Board position.
So, I believe this is a 3-year position. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rich.
It's 3 years and the expectation is it would start July 1.
Right. Okay.
So
Thank you.
It's a
Yeah.
standard seat.
Yeah.
That was my only question.
Yeah. So that's, I just wanted to, yeah. So 3 years, like I suspected, and it'll be 3-year position. Do you think you'll be able to fill that 3-year position?
I hope so. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. So with that being said, folks, what I'd like to do is do I have a possible nomination to bring, well, let me go back. I apologize. Does the committee have any questions for Betty? Because we said we were going to hold off on questions till the end. So what I'd like to do right now is open it up for discussion for the committee to ask any potential questions they may have for Ms. Betty Larivee. Does anybody have any additional questions, please? If you do, please bring them forward.
No questions from me.
No questions. Okay. All right. Last chance. Any questions for Ms. Betty? Okay. All right. Since there are no questions, and applicant Ms. Elizabeth Betty Larivee to the full board at the next meeting. Is there a motion on the table for?
I make a
Cynthia makes a
motion to recommend Betty Larivee for a 3-year term on the board at the next meeting.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you for that, Cynthia. Do I have a second on the table?
I'd love to second her.
Okay. Charles seconds it. All right. Just let me jot that down real quick. All right. We got a second for Charles. All right. Thank you for that, Charles. Discussion, please. Is there any discussion? Any discussion whatsoever? All right. Since there's no discussion, what I'd like to do is do a roll call vote on that. Charles.
Yes.
Charles is a yes. Cynthia?
Yes.
Cynthia is a yes. Ann?
Yes.
Ann's a yes. And Frank is a yes as well. Okay, very good. Since we have no other questions for Ms. Betty, I'd like to say thank you, Betty, for your time. And is Betty all set with us, folks? Is she all set to terminate the interview at this point?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Very well.
And Chung Liu
All right,
is here
Betty.
now.
Okay. Betty, thank you for your time. We appreciate
You're
you.
welcome.
Thanks,
Thank
Betty.
you all.
All right. I'll catch you soon. Have a nice night. All right. So Mr. Chung Liu is here. All right. All right. Hi, Chung. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing?
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Yeah. So my name is Frank. You can't see my face. Just just because of you can't see me just because my work schedule. But anyways, I'm Frank. I chair the trusteeship committee, and we're just going to have you on board for an interview, if that's all right. And what I'd like to do now is make a motion to interview Mr. Chung Liu. Do I have a motion on the table for that?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you for that, Charles. Thank you. Do I have a second for Mr. Chung Liu?
I second it.
Okay, thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for that. All right, let's do a discussion on that. Any discussion on the vote to interview Mr. Chung Liu? Is there any discussion whatsoever? I'm going to give it 5 seconds. Okay. All right. So there's no discussion. All right. So let's do a roll call vote on that, please. Charles?
Yes.
Moses is a yes. Cynthia?
Yes.
Cynthia's a yes. Ann?
Yes.
Ann's a yes. Okay. Frank's a yes as well. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. So now the interview begins with Mr. Chung Liu. Chung, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Nice to have you with us. And we're just going to ask you just a series of questions. That's okay.
Sure.
Okay, very good. Give me a second here. I'm trying to. Gee. Just give me a second here, folks. I'm having some technical issues with the internet. I apologize. Just give me like 30 seconds here. 30 seconds. Hang on. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, hang on. I apologize. I live up in Granville, so the service up here is absolutely terrible. I'm just trying to get my bearings here. I apologize about this.
If you can't, I mean, it's
No, I got it.
standard questions. All the trustees have it. So do you want someone else to go through the questions?
Yeah, Charles, do you have them in front of you? You want to run this one while I get this pulled back up, and then we'll have
Actually, I'm getting a technical problem too.
you're having. All right, listen, I got it. I just need.
I
It's
have
pulling
it
back.
too. I have it too. It's just that it's gone and vanished on me.
Yeah. No, listen, it'll be pulled up here and literally, this is why I hope these meetings eventually we can go back to regular at some point, and maybe do a hybrid model. We'll see. All right, let's see here.
I'm getting all kinds of nonsense coming out. Frank, like you, I tried to print these and I came up with the page. For some reason, my printer refused to print it. It was so I then decided I would keep it so I could access it on my computer, and it's an Apple. And when you
Yeah.
change your page, you lose the other page. At least that does on my computer. Maybe I haven't got it set
I
up.
can, I have a
Yeah.
Lenovo and I can read it if you guys want.
I know. Would you?
Yeah. Do you want to do that, Ann?
Sure.
I'm getting back up and running. Can you do this one and I'll run the next one?
Yeah, no
So I'm
worries.
back. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right, so we just have a few questions for you.
Sure.
The first question is, tell us about yourself and what prompted you to submit an application to join the board.
Let me very introduce because I was a founder. I am the founder of the school back to 2006 or 2007. I think Rich, Kathy, and then a few other friends and then all the educators were together. So we start the school. And then I was the chair and on the board for, I think, the 2 full term. I forgot it's 2 year or 3 year term that time. And then also I came back again for another term. That's what I remember. The reason we started the school is that time we tried to help all these Chinese language, especially the bilingual students, and then to understand more on the only the language but also the culture. All the also between the two culture. I mean the American culture, Chinese culture, or the language is also speak in Taiwan, China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore. So this is a lot of a culture. We want to immerse the culture together. So that time I was the Chinese school in Springfield Chinese school principal, and also Amherst Chinese school principal, and Rich and Kathy, and then we're together. So we founded the school. So pretty much I see the school going, and then until today, I see the school is very successful, and my I was very proud of them. I want to see the school successful. That's what I want to rejoin back to the board, especially try to support the school, communicate, promote the school with the State Department, with with the community, also with the whole different environment now compared to it's almost 20 years ago, 2006, I think. So it is a different environment and different situation. I think every school, every society, every community, we change a lot during the last 20 years. So I want to really engage again, and then to help the school, not only the students, but also the staff and administrator, and I think everyone hopefully make the school successful.
Okay, thank you. Second question is, in your opinion, what are the strengths of PVCICS? How might you describe or talk about PVCICS to someone not familiar with the school?
I think, of course, first of all the school is academic, and I think the most people know the PVCI, the academics is very, very strong, not only on the state, but also in the whole nation. I think we develop the best curriculum, and then we have the best teacher, and then I think the board and the students, so make the school academic so successful. That's the first thing. Second thing is, of course, is the language. I was talking about in the last one is language is not only the language, but the culture. You learn the language, then you learn the culture. You need to know what is the Chinese thinking, what is the Taiwanese thinking, what they are thinking. And then just like myself, I understand the people because my grandparents from China, I born in Taiwan. So I know what the Chinese people thinking, and then what's their culture, and also the Taiwanese culture. And I came here in my 22 years old. So I was here almost more than almost 50 years. So I met all the American friends, and my children all born here. So I work here for more than 40 years, and then I study here. So I know the American thinking. So I combine all the culture and then together. And then I teach my granddaughter and my children, tell them this situation, there's a thing. What is the Chinese think? What is the Taiwanese think? Or anybody American think? And then what are all together, what's the best solution? I think that's our school, the second strength, because the teacher, they all come from China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, I don't know, whatever they come from, they have none of the cultural knowledge. And then when you're teaching, not only the language, but when you say a word, the vocabulary, but how that word meaning, what's behind it, what's the story, what's your culture, what's your ancestor talking, why we do this way. So I think that that's a very, very strong point for PVCI. And the third one is PVCI, I think is very safe, very good environment, or everybody together. And then we make this school, everybody feel comfortable about it. I think also, I think I was on the board, we have a very good, and our board always support the school, support the administrator, support the teacher, support the staff, support the student. So I think that's what I will promote to the community, not only this is not only on the Western Mass or not only in Hadley or Amherst, but also I'm from Springfield. So that time, especially the Springfield environment, I think that they start knowing the PVCI. The fourth thing is PVCI is a state support. With this kind of academic culture, all the success compared to, there's a lot of boarding school, as you know. There's Deerfield Academy, there's a Munson Academy, there's the Commonwealth Academy in Springfield, McDuffie School, all these private boarding school. And then we compete with them. And then you can see our success. But the only advantage is we are state support. You got to spend thousands of dollars for those private or boarding schools. I think that's in a brief, in a nutshell. I will introduce it.
Okay, thank you. The next question. What do you see as the future of the school and how can you assist in realizing it?
I think I see the school as a way I talk about it. It is very successful now. However, every school, everyone, everything we need to improve. I think the major one, I think back then when I was the chair, I talked to the DESE. That time we talk about the quota of the school. At that time, we set up our quota. This is we talk about. Sorry, I don't remember the time I was born. Maybe 15 years ago, I talked to DESE. I think it's Dr. Mitchell in the DESE, that time the commissioner, and then we set up the quota. For example, this is one I'm just talking about because I know it, and I think that was old, and then I think we need to go back to the drawing board, and then we tell them we may need to expand the school, and also because this is our story, and then you see our results. Results is everything. So maybe we can get more quota, and then expand the school, and also not only that, and we can also promote our school because of more, not only in the Amherst area or Hadley area, and then more on the Springfield area and on the north or Deerfield area. That's what I see our school going right now.
Okay, thank you. The next question, what is your experience in working with nonprofit boards and or
I work for a lot of a city commissioner. For example, I was the commissioner for the Chicopee Culture Council, the Chicopee Water and Sewer, and also I am the member of American Asian Commission in Boston, and I work for I think for the Asian American Commission as the commissioner. I also was the treasurer. That's a 3-year term. I think it's from 2020, I forgot on my resume. I retire now. But anyway, I have 3 year do that. I think we help. Because I am the only one from Springfield area. The commissioner, most of them, we have 20, I forgot 20 members or 19 members, 21 members, I think total. I'm the only one from Springfield or from Western Mass. So I told them to set up a coordinator. So now Asian American, after me, I was a treasurer member. We got the coordinator for the Asian American Commission. And then the coordinator support Cambodia. I think Vietnamese community, there's a big Cambodia and the Vietnamese community in Springfield. And also, I think it's in the Amherst area too. And also, we help the Nepali or Nepal. All the Asian, in there's India and I mean, of course, Chinese and Taiwanese and or whatever, and then we were there. So as the member there, I think we promote all the Asian American, and then we help all the program support the fifth. The May is the Asian American month, so we promote the lot of a program, a lot of events, and then stuff like that. So I think for the nonprofit one, I would say Asian American Commission. That's in Boston. That's a state support. So I think that's the best I can describe myself. As far as the city, I was in the Water and Sewer Commission, Culture Council for city, and also on a professional level, it's also nonprofit. It's for but that's not education. It's for the electrical business, for the reliability commission.
Okay. All right, thank you. Next question. If appropriate, comment on your experiences working within an educational setting.
I think I think a major one is the educational wise. I am the Chinese Springfield Chinese school principal. I think it's about 20 years. And during for my principal that time, any school, I mean, any teacher let's say they have trouble to whatever, sick time or something, vacation, I also teach the school. I was a teacher. And then also to be the teacher, I promote the exchange, say if possible, with the Taiwan. The student from my Chinese school go to Taiwan, and then they have a 1 month, for example, the summer program, and then they teach English there, and they help the people there, and also help the some Chinese teacher, Taiwanese teacher from there come to here to learn the English. Also, we put some conference together. That's on my when I was on the Springfield Chinese School principal at that time.
Okay, thank you. The next question, what kind of activities might you engage in on behalf of the board?
Activity, whatever. First of all, I was on the board that time, and then I was support whatever the board committee needed, and then especially that time with the communication with the state, the commission, that time DESE, and then I try to set up all the quota, for example, and also if there's anything I can promote the school or to help the school from board point of view, yes, I'll be happy to do it.
Okay, thank you. As you may be aware, serving on the board and its committees can be a time-consuming endeavor. The board meets once a month and committees meet as needed to complete their work. Does this fit in with your personal and professional schedule?
I think yes. I am retired. That's why. If not, then I will be hesitant.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, just gonna move this over. Okay, the board is currently holding meetings via Zoom, but could return to in-person meetings in the future. Would you be able to meet in person if that occurs?
Oh yes, our meeting, my Chicopee, the water and the sewer and the other meetings, all in-person meeting now. It's no more. You can join by Zoom, but and I'm by telephone, but yeah, generally it's an in-person meeting. For me, no problem. Yes.
Okay, great. So that's it for our questions. Do you have any questions for the committee?
No, I think because I was on the board and for several terms, and my grandkids still in the school. So I think I talk to my daughter time to time. So I think I understand this. I don't quite a detail, I don't know, but generally I still, understand, know the school. So no, I don't have any question.
Thank you very much for taking the time to meet with us.
Thank you.
Okay. Frank, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you for that, Ann. Appreciate it. Okay, does the committee have any further questions for Mr. Chung Liu? Any other questions?
No, it's very comprehensive.
Open it up.
Yep.
All right, so I have a question. So Chung, I spent a lot of time in Central Asia, the areas bordering Western China, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. Do you speak any other language?
Mandarin, yeah. Because I was
Okay,
born
all
in
right.
Taiwan, so yes.
Okay. I was just curious. I was always fascinated by languages, and
Oh, I wish I
okay.
could. I was on the Asian American Commission. My best friend at that time, I was treasurer. He's the chair. He's the ambassador from Nepal. He's a Nepali And at that time, the Japanese also ambassador was visit us, and we celebrate Emperor's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, we went to the embassy. I forgot there, and then they put a big party for Emperor's birthday party. I enjoyed it.
Very neat. Very
Yeah,
fascinating.
yes, right.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Any other questions from the committee for Mr. Chung Liu? Okay. All right. So there are no further questions for Mr. Chung Liu. What I'd like to do is open it up and see if there's a motion for the committee to recommend Mr. Chung Liu to the Board of Trustees next meeting. Do I have a motion for that?
Then I make that motion.
Okay. Thank you for that, Charles. Thank you. Is there a second on the table for that?
I second it.
Cynthia seconds. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Cynthia. All right. Discussion, please. Any discussion? Okay. Since there's no discussion, what I'd like to do is do a roll call vote on making that determination to bring Mr. Chung Liu's candidacy to the full Board of Trustees at the next meeting. So we'll just run it down the roster here. Charles?
Yes.
Okay. Cynthia?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Ann?
Yes.
Ann's a yes. And I'm a yes as well. Okay. With that being said, Chung, thank you for taking the time tonight. We appreciate it. Thank you for being here with us. If there's no other comments or questions for Mr. Chung Liu, I'd like to, is he okay to get off the meeting at this point? Is that okay with everybody?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Hsinpei.
Okay. So,
Hi, everyone.
hi. Who's that?
Hi, this is Hsinpei.
Oh, hi. Okay. All right. So Chung's all set. Chung, thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice
Thank you. You have a nice evening.
time. Thank
Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. All right. Good night. All right. So moving on to the next item of business will be our next interview. Will be Hsinpei. All right. Hsinpei Normand. Trusteeship committee to interview Hsinpei, to recommend applicant Hsinpei Normand to the full board. Or to interview, I apologize, to interview Hsinpei tonight. Can I get a
I make a motion.
is there a motion?
I make a motion that we interview Hsinpei Normand this evening.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, Charles, thank you.
I'll second.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
And second. Okay, all right, thank you. Discussion on that, please. Any discussion whatsoever? No discussion. Okay. All right, we'll do a roll call vote on that. Charles,
Yes.
Cynthia,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
and Frank's a yes as well. Okay. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you taking the time. Really appreciate it tremendously for you being with us tonight. We'll move on with the next phase of the process, which will be for questions, if that's okay with you. The board would like to ask you some questions regarding your candidacy. So we'll move forward to those questions. Okay, very good. All right, so the first question that I have is, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you submit an application to join the Board of Trustees?
Sure, yes. My name is Hsinpei Normand. I've been teaching at PVCICS for almost 15 years. Representative. To apply to be a regular board member will allow me to continue what I've been doing. And also, after attending the open meeting law training, I find it really interesting to see how things will work out and to ensure school accountability and board governance.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you very much. In your opinion, what are the strengths of PVCICS, and how might you describe or talk about PVCICS to someone who's not familiar with the school?
Can you repeat the question again?
Sure, absolutely. In your opinion, what are the strengths of our school, the PVCICS? How might you describe or talk about our school, PVCICS, to someone who may not be familiar with the school?
Sure. I think from a teacher's perspective, I see children on the playground playing across grades. It's amazing thing. We are a K to 12 school, and this is a very different learning environment compared to other schools where um, they don't necessarily have the opportunity to play across grade. And I'm saying it from the playground point of view. When I am on my recess duty, I get to see children from different grades, and it's really amazing to see how the older grade children, they take care of the younger grades, they play with each other, and there's any conflict, it's something that we can resolve with an adult. And it's a very nice environment to see. And not just from the playground point of view. And of course, we know we have proven record of success academically. This is just an amazing school that I'm very proud that my children attend to have all the opportunities as they grow up.
Thank you. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. What do you see as the future of our school, and how can you assist in realizing this?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Sure, absolutely. What do you see as the future of the school, and how do you think you can assist in realizing what the future of our school is?
The future of what do I see in the future of our school?
Yeah, what do you see in the future for the school, and how can you
Yeah,
assist?
I mean, with the expansion, I see that we will definitely become a bigger school. Um, for me as a parent, I actually think about traveling back and forth from both sides. So the future of our school, I think it brings up a lot of opportunities for students, especially our high school graduates. They'll have more enrichment in environment wise. They get more space, and even in the other departments as well, elementary and middle school will have more classrooms. This is just from the side of for the future. I really see it for the students' benefits. I think this is all going to benefit the students. And we will have more teachers to support the students as well. So yeah, I mean, that's what I see for the future of PVCICS.
Okay. Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you for that. What are your experiences in working with nonprofit boards and or committees?
I have no previous experience.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that.
That seems to be odd because she's served on the board of, our board.
Maybe she didn't understand the question. Let me.
I think
Oh,
we
yeah,
are.
you're right. I'm sorry. My mistake. Yes, you're right. My only experience is serving on our board. You're right. Yeah,
And
but none anywhere else.
But you also were extremely involved in visiting Boston to, I mean, you were heavily involved. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut, but you were absolutely a board member in every possible way, in a deep way. I think over modesty is not a good thing here.
Perhaps I didn't understand your question.
So yeah, so when I say nonprofit boards, it doesn't mean like volunteer experiences, anything like that. Like voluntary, like you've done this on your own, as Charles pointed out. So nonprofit, sometimes people, that phrase kind of throws everything off. So what like Charles said, like you were involved with all these different things, like voluntary experiences.
Yeah, so I have been to Bessie. Is that what you're referring to? For speaking as a faculty rep in front of the board of elementary and secondary um board, right? Um and also I'm the contact person to talk with Desi about fulfilling our conditions, our board conditions.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we appreciate your you being humble, and maybe that term there wasn't the best term, the nonprofit thing, but thank you for that. Moving on, if appropriate, can you comment on your experiences working within an educational setting, please? I can hold on. Let me just I'll slow it down. I know I talk a little fast. If appropriate, if you could comment on any experiences you have working with an educational setting.
Can you say it just one more time? I heard parts of it,
Sure.
but not the full sentence.
So, if appropriate, can you comment on your experiences working within an educational setting? And I got your resume right here in front, so I'm looking at it, and it's through the roof. So we're just looking for you to kind of elaborate on that a little bit.
You're talking about my teaching experience?
Educational setting.
Okay, and what was the last part of the question?
All you got to do is just talk about it a little bit. Just talk about, you working within an educational setting. That's it.
Sure. So I started teaching way back in the days. I have sub at Springfield Public Schools for two locations, two high school actually. And then I was hired here at PVCICS back in 2010. So I started teaching kindergarten, and then that was 6 years. And then for first grade, I taught around 3 years, and then I've been teaching middle school ever since. I enjoy teaching middle school. definitely different, totally different age group from what I have experienced before. So it was really challenging at first. Um, and then COVID happened. So it was a very, very tough switch for all teachers and students. And then coming back from COVID, we had the hybrid. So that was definitely some experience as well, learning all the technologies, and see how the admin team were really supportive and just I think overall the teaching experience at PVCICS has been very positive for me. I really enjoy working here and working with my colleagues, learn a lot from my supervisors, my educational director. Um, it's a lot of professional developments that assist us to improve ourselves throughout these semesters. I was confident enough to say that I actually learned everything I have at work. And what I learned at school was more a supportive resource for me. And so my actual teaching experience actually was more helpful than my degree, interestingly. But I mean I guess they help each other out. But I definitely have fun at work. I enjoy what I do. And yeah, I think I said a lot.
You did, yeah. That was, thank you for that. We appreciate it. And, yeah, we appreciate that very much. Okay. So with that being said, what kind of activities do you think you may engage in on behalf of the board?
What kind of activity? I'm sorry.
What kind of activities do you think you might engage in on behalf of the board of trustees?
What kind of activities? Um, Currently,
Yeah, like
I'm the con
what? Yeah. So
current
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, currently I'm the contact person communicating with Desi. Um, but as far as for after this, I don't know. So just see how it goes and see where the board needs me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And I personally, I'm not a teacher, but I think you guys need to be paid a heck of a lot more. You guys are absolutely amazing in what you guys deal with. I think you guys are in this state. And if I was the president, I would definitely put you guys at over $200,000 a year. But anyways, teachers, you guys have a very special place in my heart with what you guys do. Anyways, thank you for that. So you might be aware, serving on the board and its committees can be kind of time consuming, right? So our board usually meets once a month, and our committees meet. The committees meet as needed to complete their work. Does this fit within your personal and professional schedule?
I think for the personal schedule, it definitely is something that's extra. I think that is applied to all board members here. Um, I do think that being able to be on the board, it's definitely been an honor, I think, to learn more about the school that I work for 15 years, to see what goes on and to be able to see the expansion being approved, the process, the dedication, the hard work that people have put in. Um, it's been very impressive for me. I think I also, you know, being on the board, being able to talk to board members and learning from everyone. It's just a learning experience overall for me. So every every first week when we have the board meeting, I would type up notes. And so, English is not definitely struggle on a few words. I sometimes had to look up words when people speak. And when people speak really fast, I actually have difficulty catching up. Um, so it's definitely just overall attending board meeting, being on the board, it's just been a very interesting and fun learning experience for me. And that's how I see my time well spent on the board is not only am I serving on the board, but it actually helps me personally learning all these terms and, definitely attending that open meeting law training that was eye-opening. I read all the documents they sent. I take notes. I write summaries on the side. Just trying my best to learn everything that is being thrown to me. And I'm telling you, we read a lot of documents before meetings, so it's a lot of work. It's not just attending the meeting, it's also reading all the impressive documents that we have to go through. Um, and it's just been eye-opening. It's been very impressive for me. So I hope I answer your question.
Thank you for that. We definitely do appreciate it. English wasn't my first language either, and I hear you, it was very tough. I grew up in a multilingual household, and it was very tough when we first came here to the States. So the next question I have for you is, do you have any questions for us personally? Do you have any questions for the committee at all?
Any questions for the team?
For us. Do you have any questions for the trusteeship committee that we may be able to answer tonight?
No, no, not right now. I see the agenda. I see how the process will go. So
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no questions.
Okay. All right. Does the trusteeship committee have any further questions for this candidate?
I've got a comment. I was at the DESI meeting where Hsinpei made a presentation. I noticed that she has an iron trap of a mind. She sees right the way through to the key concept, and she can. I don't tear up easily, but I teared up when she made her presentation. It was strong. It was emotionally driven, and I really we had the vote was 5-4. And I think that Hsinpei, we all were involved in that whole process. But Hsinpei's, I think, took us over the top. I think there was one wavering person, the person who came in last. And I think I saw her waver, but I suspect that was, we got that last vote, the essential vote, due to Hsinpei. So I'm extraordinarily impressed. But maybe there should be another part of the meeting. I don't know. But that didn't come over in the in what was in the questioning, and I think it was important to say it.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. I think I was very nervous. And I was trying to save time for Kathy, so I thank you for that comment.
You did a brilliant job. It was important.
Well, thank you for that, Nick. If you're one tough cookie, so if you teared up, I mean, it must have been really special.
Very rare.
And you're, very rare, and because I know you're a tough cookie, and so thank you for that, Hsinpei. Your credentials definitely stand on their own merits. The one question I do have for you is, just out of curiosity, do you speak any other languages? I've always been fascinated by languages. I'm just curious if you speak anything else.
I took French in college, but I can't, it's not conversational level. I can read some, but not fluent at all. So just English and
Okay,
Chinese.
English and Chinese. Okay, that's impressive enough as it is. Okay, so does anybody else have any other questions? Any questions whatsoever? Okay, so if nobody else has any further questions, what I'd like to do is, if it's okay with everybody, we can get Hsinpei off the interview, and she could go back to doing, regular stuff. That's okay. Is that okay with everybody? Can we dismiss Hsinpei?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We can't thank you enough. Yep. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Good night. Yep. Bye-bye. All right, folks. All right. So, with all that being said, after hearing the interview, is there a motion for the trusteeship committee to recommend applicant Hsinpei Normand to the full board?
Can I
Is
just
there a motion?
ask a question? I heard you do the vote to recommend Chung Liu. I wasn't sure whether you did a vote to recommend Elizabeth Larivee or not, and I may have just missed it or something or other. But I wouldn't, just to be cautious, I would be inclined to say, why don't you do if you to make sure that you do either each one individual. Well, I think Chung Liu you did, but do Elizabeth too if you didn't get it, or else do all of them or do something like that too. But I want to make sure that all three
Absolutely.
are covered in the recommendation. So, but I wasn't sure you got Elizabeth.
We did.
Sure. What I'll do at the end is I'll do a final vote for everybody. Is that pretty good? Is
That'd
that
be
fair
great
enough?
with me.
Yeah, we'll do a final motion for all of our candidates. Just to make sure we're fair and impartial and doing everything that we got to do. So, okay. So with this one, what I'll do is, do I have a motion on the table for this candidate, Ms. Hsinpei Normand, to make a recommendation for this candidate, Hsinpei Normand, to the full board at the next meeting? There's a motion on the table. Go for it.
I make a motion that Hsinpei Normand be recommended to the full board as a regular board member.
Thank you for that, Cynthia. Appreciate it. Is there a second on that? Second. All right. Thank you for that, Charles. Appreciate it. Discussion, please. Is there any discussion on this? All right. Since there's no discussion, we need to do a roll call vote on it, please. Charles.
Yes.
Cynthia.
Yes.
Cynthia's yes. Anne.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Anne. And Frank's yes as well. All right. Very well. All right. So with all this being said, I want to do a final roll call vote. And the final roll call vote, I'm going to put a motion on the table to recommend, if this is all right, and anybody jump in and stop me if you want to, but this is how I'm going to do it. I want to make a motion to put all of our candidates tonight for a recommendation to the full board of trustees at the next meeting. So my motion on the table will be to recommend Mr. Chung Liu, Ms. Hsinpei Normand, and Ms. Elizabeth Betty Larivee as Board of Trustee members at our next meeting, at the next full board meeting. And if there's a motion on the table for that, I'd like for somebody to make it, please.
I'd like
I
to.
make,
Oh, you go ahead.
So, okay, Charles, Charles, you make a motion to have Mr. Chung Liu, Ms. Hsinpei Normand, Ms. Elizabeth Betty Larivee recommended as trustee members to the full Board of Trustees at our next BOT meeting, correct?
As full board members, yes.
Okay, as full board members, okay. So Charles makes that motion. Do I have a second on that motion?
I'll second it.
Ann seconds it. Any discussion on that, please? Any discussion whatsoever? Okay, so let's please do a roll call vote on that. Charles,
Yes.
Cynthia,
yes,
Ann,
Yes.
and Frank's a yes as well. Okay, so that passes. All right. Would we like to do this? So I'm going to throw this up to the board. Do you want to do this separately as well, or is this feasible?
So, do what? Sorry.
So when we made, we did everything and we voted on every candidate separately. Okay. And I'm looking at my notes here. I'm taking pretty good notes. I'm almost positive we voted for Betty.
I made the
separately as
nomination
well.
for Betty, we did.
That's correct. So just to be, like I said, we did this. This motion that I just put on the table was for all three candidates. Okay. Do we want to vote on this separately again, or is this feasible? I think it's feasible as the chair.
I think we already voted on it, honestly.
I think it's feasible.
We voted on all three and we made the final motion.
Yes.
We made a final motion for the three as well on top of it. So I just
It's
want
an
to be
abundance of
sure that.
caution.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. All right. Thank you for that, guys. I appreciate it.
Do we need to ask
these
Russell whether there's any comments he needs to make?
Yeah. Please make any comments, please.
I don't have any comments to make.
Okay, sir. We appreciate that. Thanks for being with us tonight too, as well.
No problem at all.
We appreciate you. I knew your dad was Fred, right?
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So with that being said, folks, let's move on to the next topic of discussion, please. And that's new business. I don't have any new business. Does anybody else have any new business? Any new business whatsoever, please?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, since there's no new business, what I'd like to do is I'm going to make a motion to adjourn this meeting. I'm going to make a motion to adjourn this meeting, and we're going to bring all this up for discussion at our next Board of Trustees meeting. We're going to bring it to the board's attention and cut and dry. So I'm going to make a motion to adjourn if it's okay with everybody. Is that okay? Does anybody have anything to say at all? Does anybody want to do anything? Okay. All right. Cynthia seconds. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. Let's do a roll call vote on that, please, for adjourning. Charles?
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you for that. Cynthia,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. Thank you guys very much. Have a great night, and thank you for our Mr. Dupere. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Thank
Thanks, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Good night.
Have a good night. Yep. See you. Bye bye.
Isn't it?